How do moths sit?
Do moths rest? I guess they just lay, right?
Probably.
I mean, you've seen one land. See what if they sleep like that.
Okay.
Hello.
Hi. Happy Halloween.
So,
Can you guess what we are?
probably not.
I am Mothman.
I am.
Nessie. I gotta take these off. I can't see shit in them.
That's fair. This is gonna drip all over this dress. Whatever, it doesn't matter because I made it.
Alright, so tonight we are talking about ghosts.
And like our experience with ghosts.
Yeah. Have we had any? What do we believe in them? How do we feel about ghosts?
Gotta set the spooky mood.
Yeah.
Should have made an ambiance here, but
I know.
it's fine. So, let's start, I guess, by explaining that we went on a ghost hunt.
Ah, yes.
It was great, but terrifying.
Yeah, it was a really good time, actually. I think both of us are surprised by how much fun we had doing it because we're both chickens.
In certain scenarios, yes.
Yeah, we have like this running joke that the only time we ever hold hands or show any physical affection towards one another is when we're at haunted houses.
And that's true.
Yeah, it
That's
is.
very true.
Yeah.
So, with last night, our night started off, I guess, like, pretty calm. Because we both did not know what we were going into.
No, neither of us knew what to expect, really.
Shouldn't put this on your floor.
That's fine, mine is too.
Okay. So, like, when you go, you don't know what you're going into when you do these things. Like, you're amped up, your anxiety's probably a little too high. So, like, I don't know about
Were you as nervous as I was?
Yes and no. Like, I think, like, once we were in, we were fine.
Yeah, once
but I
we were
think,
there,
like,
I was okay.
going into, like,
I was very nervous, like, all day.
Oh, all day. I didn't even think about it. I was fine.
Oh, okay.
It didn't bother me at all. It was, like, when we finally, like, parked and were going to where we were supposed to go, then I was, like, I was getting amped up.
Yeah.
And, like, when you see those darker parts of, like, the cemetery, then I was, like, a little nervous. But, my nose is running. But before that, like, I didn't even think about it all day.
Yeah.
So it wasn't really bothering me. I think, like, so we went to a cemetery, we will not tell you which one, with our friend. And that cemetery was actually pretty large.
Yeah, it was a decent size.
Yeah, I would say, like, medium size. He's had experiences there.
Yeah, he's, like, done ghost hunting as, like, a hobby before.
So he was our guide into the unknown. And, I don't know, like, it was a lot of, like, I mean, granted, we're on, like, a main road, so,
yeah,
like,
there was a lot of, like, noises and houses around it and stuff.
Yeah.
So that definitely, like, pulled you out of the atmosphere.
I think that's why I wasn't so scared, because, like, I just kept hearing cars go by, and, like, it's easy to justify the things that you're hearing when, like, there's already so much activity going on that, like, you can, like, identify. So, like, a snap of a branch is going to be a little bit weirder than, like, a reflection of a light. Yeah. Because, like, the reflection of a light, I'm just like, it was a car that came past.
Right.
But, like, I kept seeing that, like, walkway get lit up. But that was because of the cars, I'm pretty sure. I know you saw a light.
Yeah, Frank and I both did when we, like, turned away from the road, and it was pretty high up, and, like, cars went by again, and it didn't happen again, so...
And that was in the darker part of the cemetery.
Yeah. And it was just, like... There was, like, I specifically saw, like, a golden, warm light, kind of just, like, flash across my field of vision, really.
Yeah, I was turned around for that, so obviously I missed it. And I didn't catch it on my camera either, which kind of sucked, because I was recording during that time. But, like, I can hear, like, we had voice recorders. So I heard in the voice recorder you guys say that you saw something, and that's when I was like, I don't want to be behind you guys, I want to be on the side. But the only thing that I definitely know for a fact that I saw was a shadow at the end.
Yeah.
It was like a shadow within the other shadows. Like, it wasn't like it was, like, coming from the road. It went inward, like, in towards the darker part of the cemetery. So that was a little scary. And, like, all of, like, the banging and stuff.
Yeah.
But, like, we didn't catch that on recording. There's no noises like that at all on there, but I know I kept hearing it, and I know I kept hearing it from that house.
Yeah.
So, and like a lot of the activity that we did here came from that area, I feel like. So, but that was interesting. So we left there, went to a different area, which was more like a field.
Yeah.
I don't really know the history of it. Something about like Revolutionary War.
Yeah, it was like an encampment for the British during the Revolutionary War.
So, that, I'll admit, I didn't expect anything out of that.
I wasn't sure. Like,
I didn't expect anything. I was like, we're not going to get anything. This is going to be boring. Like, it's going to be nothing.
Yeah.
And it wasn't nothing. That, I'm still like, about it.
And we're going to try and include the EVP that we got in here. Neither of us are great with technology, clearly, but we're going to do our best to include it for you guys so you can hear what we heard. But at one point I had asked something along the lines of, is anybody here with us? And there was very distinctly, off from the right side of us, a woman laughing, and we did catch it on an EVP.
And
it's
we
really
all
cool.
Heard it.
All three of us heard it, yeah. It was really, really cool.
And like, we went and checked the neighborhood nearby to see if anybody was outside. There was nobody outside. I mean, it was like 40-something degrees out last night. It was cold. It was so freaky. And then, I mean, I think I told you that I had listened to the recording, and I didn't catch anything after that.
Yeah.
So, like, we were coming off of the trail that's on this field, and I felt somebody come up behind me. I heard somebody yell something at me. Couldn't distinguish what it was, but it was there. And we didn't capture it.
Yeah, and
really
meanwhile I was literally standing 1.5 feet in front of you and didn't hear anything.
But
that happened to you a couple times, so that
was in the cemetery.
That we didn't hear.
Well, yeah, because I kept thinking that somebody was behind me.
Yeah.
It just like felt like somebody kept trying to like sneak up on me, which I do not like. So, that I felt like somebody rushed towards me.
Yeah.
And was like yelling at me, but not like in a bad way, like just in a like, I'm gonna scare you way.
Yeah, you said it was like jokey.
It felt like a joke.
Yeah.
Which was freaky. But like, it's weird because listening to the recording, like you hear before the laughter, all of us start feeling something.
Yeah.
So like, you saw something out in the field. I thought I heard like something to the other side of us. Frank thought he heard something and saw something. Like, there's all these things that were happening.
Yeah.
And then like, you get that laugh.
Yeah, it was really freaky.
It's the freakiest thing.
Oh god, I'm getting the chills just
it's
thinking
so
about it.
scary.
It was really bizarre.
And then that like shakes you up for the rest of the night, but it's also like exhilarating. So then you're like, I need to do this more.
And I guess like just to kind of go along with that, I would describe both of us as like very open-minded skepticals. Like, we are both firm believers in ghosts, but we're not like the first. Like, we don't go hunting for them usually, or anything like that.
And I'm not the first to, like, blame it on a ghost
No,
either. Like,
no.
I'm gonna look for the logical explanation, but, like, there's, like, certain moments where you can tell that it's not logical.
Right.
That it's something else.
Yeah.
And, like, that
was definitely one of those
That was
moments.
something else. Like, that was so freaky and, like, unexpected. Because you're out in a field. Like, you don't really expect anything. You're literally out in the middle of nowhere. It is dark as hell. Like, there's nothing. And then after the field, we went and examined one of the buildings on the property that's over there. And I don't know, like, I guess we heard like a couple different taps in there.
Yeah, we heard like we would ask questions, and like once or twice we got like a tap in response, but I'm willing to chalk that up to like an animal or, you know, mice or something like that. I think we were freaking ourselves out in there more than anything else was freaking us out.
Yeah, because it was like,
creepy.
It was creepy, it was quiet, it was echoey, it was contained, and it was only us in there. There's no electricity, nothing.
No.
Like,
yeah, so I think that was really more than anything.
Well, I think like I had already been on edge because before that, in the beginning of us going into that building, I think Frank had asked, like, do you like any sports? And I like giggled at it, but then that's when I heard the shuffling.
Yeah.
And that's like, and I know he heard it because he looked directly at me, and I was like, no.
I did too, because I was sitting across from you guys, and I stood up and grabbed your arm.
Yeah, you did. So like, but that, as I said, I thought that came from like a separate room.
Yeah.
I didn't think that it was over on yonder.
Yeah.
I thought it was in a separate room, so that we didn't capture either, though, which is unfortunate because that was very distinct as well. Like,
yeah.
I thought somebody was going to walk into that room, and I panicked.
Dude, I would have pooped my pants if somebody had walked in there.
Well,
even just a human person. I would have shit myself.
Because we're in that, like, back area.
Yeah.
Like, the only exit is right there where I thought I heard somebody come in. And, like, nerve-wracking. So, that was an experience. I'd like to do it again.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
So, I'm open to finding other cemeteries to check out. I feel like a cemetery would be a good start. That's like baby steps. But other than that, so I mean, you've already established we believe in ghosts for sure.
Yes, yes.
I mean, obviously we've had experiences that have led us to definitively believe that there is something else out there. So, do you want to start? Would you like me to start?
Well, I know you have a longer
I do
history, so I guess I'll go first because it'll be relatively brief. Me, my mom, and my sister always joke that, like, there's a little bit of clairvoyance in our family. All three of us have, like, occasionally, like, weird synchronicity type of things that happen to us, but I think that because of that, it leaves us more open. And I've just had, like, some strange experiences throughout my life. Nothing, like, super concrete that's led me to be terrified or anything like that. I had one experience. I think the one that's, like, stuck with me the most wasn't even that long ago. I had already been dating Brian at the time, so it's within the last 9 years. I had woken up in my bedroom one night, and there was, like, very distinctly the outline of a woman next to my bed, but it was not scary. Like, I just kind of acknowledged it and was able to go back to sleep. And I had, like, told my mom about it the next day, and she was like, it was probably just your grandma. And I can't explain how I know, but I just knew that it wasn't my grandma. Like, it didn't give off that vibe. So then I had gone and seen a psychic, and the only place that I had been to, like, in a couple of months before that was the Holocaust Museum down in DC. So, she had kind of led me to believe that maybe I had, like, picked something up when I was there. But I like, never saw anything again, really. There's been a couple of other things. Like, when I was a kid, my grandpa died when I was, like, 6 months old. But when I was at my grandma's once, when I was probably, like, a year and a half, 2 years old, I don't remember this. I just have been told about this. I came out of my room and was talking to my grandma about my grandfather, about, like, having spoken to him. He says he loves you, he was playing with me in the bedroom, stuff like that. So a couple of things here and there. I've seen a couple of my pets, like, after we put one of my dogs down, I would hear he had really long nails, and I would hear him, like, walking through the house at night after we put him down. But again, it wasn't a super new house, so how much of that was settling versus like how much of that was, like, something that was actually happening versus how much of it was just, like, me, a desperate teenager who missed her dog,
That's fair.
I think that is, like, the majority of my weird experiences. Am I missing? I mean, you already know it. Am I missing anything?
I mean, didn't you have weird experiences in your last house?
Oh,
Your last house was fucked up.
A couple, yeah. There was a couple of weird, like, we had this thing about the basement, like, it wasn't a basement, it was a second, like, a bottom floor, it was a bi-level, but after we, like, didn't use it as, like, a living room anymore, we pretty much just, like, stopped going down there because it definitely gave me the heebie-jeebies. I can't speak for my mom or my sister, and I think the weirdest thing that happened to me there was, one time I walked into my bedroom. And, like, we had air conditioning and heating, so our windows were never open or anything like that.
Yeah.
And there had been, like, a bottle of shampoo or something sitting on top of my TV.
Oh, I remember this.
That was, like, right next to my door when you walked into the room. And I opened the door, and it flew off the TV at me. Oh my God, I'm forgetting something.
I know.
Yes.
You're forgetting the
Oh my God, the spookiest thing. Then I was getting ready to move out of my house to go live with my fiance at the time, and I was taking this video of, like, the progress I had made in my room on Snapchat, and I had played it back, and there was like very distinctly a man's voice on it, but it sounded violent.
It was scary.
Yeah, like it
because
sounded
you sent
angry.
it to me, so it was like.
I wish I had saved that.
I know.
Video.
I wish you had too.
My TV wasn't on or anything.
No. It was like whispering. It was whispering.
Yeah, but it was angry whispering,
Yeah.
and it wasn't in English.
No, it wasn't. It was very like quick and like violent.
Yeah.
And so weird.
Yeah.
Because I remember you sending it to me, and I was like, "What the fuck?
Yeah.
is happening?" And I know you said that like you meant to send it to Brian to show him the progress.
Yeah.
And like that came up instead.
Mhm.
That was very scary.
Oh man, I wish I had saved that, but I was just like, it freaked me out so bad. I just like sent it and was done. Yeah, I think that was like the worst of it.
Wasn't there like some shit with your shower too?
No, that wasn't like ghosty stuff. That was just
okay.
bad house stuff.
Oh, okay.
One time my sister had like thrown in a load of laundry. The laundry room was downstairs, and she came upstairs and she went, like she had started the laundry for sure, and she went back downstairs to check on it, and like the washer was open.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, that I remember your basement area was like freaky.
Mhm.
Because I wouldn't look at it when I would come into your house. I wanted nothing to do with that. That was like, that was there and that was that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do remember that. That was freaky.
Mhm. I can't believe I forgot about that.
I know, I was waiting. I was like, hey, are you sure that's your only experiences? Because I remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess, I feel like there's more. I feel like you've told me more ghost stories, but
There probably are more. I meant to like make notes before this, but I forgot.
it's okay. Maybe as we talk up, we'll...
I've definitely
Jog
seen a
up
couple
more.
of animals. I don't know if I'm sure I've told you this story, but when I was a kid, we went to DC, and my mom's friend was watching the house for us, and we had an indoor-outdoor cat at the time who jumped into our neighbor's yard and was killed by their dogs.
Yeah.
And I don't know if this was like my imagination as a kid who was traumatized by receiving this news or what, but I saw the cat running around our hotel room in DC.
That's weird.
Yeah.
It's really weird. I don't feel like I've ever seen an animal that I can think of. Yeah, I mean, I feel like the only time that I think I might have seen something was when I first started working in the veterinary field, and I had like my first like patient death that I saw. And it was like a little Yorkie that came in. I don't know if it was like hit by a car or like what the deal was, but like...
Were you at Ocean?
Yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah, it was like the first
Yeah,
time
you were
I had ever
traumatized.
seen something like that. I didn't know what to do. And I remember going home, and that night, like, I had walked out into, like, my living room, because I live in an apartment, so, like, you have my living room and then my kitchen. So I walked out, actually, into my kitchen, where I could see my living room, and I thought that I saw something, like, run across the floor of the living room. But, like, once again, I don't know if it's, like, my imagination justifying,
Right.
like, I had just seen something traumatic, or, like, what the deal was with
Yeah.
that. But, like, I didn't experience any animals or anything. It's mostly been, like... people or vibes.
I did have some weird experiences at VCA too.
I feel like I knew about.
Yeah,
Like,
like
the things
I didn't
over
like
there?
going into the basement at night, and
I didn't like going into the basement at all.
No, I stayed there one night, and like definitely heard some weird noises.
Yeah.
I mean, like you're looking at an animal hospital; they're bound to be haunted.
Yeah, I agree with
There's
that.
so much death there.
Yeah, they're freaky. As I said, I knew about, like, at VCA, I knew there was, like, some things that were rumored, but, like, I don't think I ever experienced anything there. I think, like, most of my creepy paranormal experiences have just been at my old house, I guess. Or, I mean, even in my apartment, like, there's been, like, things here and there, which my apartment, when I moved in, was brand new. Like, I'm the first one to live in there.
Yeah,
so
but the land's not.
the land, I think, was all, like, trees and stuff, like...
At least as far back as, like,
I remember.
our history books go.
Yeah, I don't remember there ever being, like, buildings or anything there, but, I mean, who knows? I don't know what happened on that land. I don't know anything. But I know, like, my Tom's River house was Bad Vibe City, and I've always wanted to know what happened in that house because something happened there. So our realtor was our neighbor.
Okay.
So, like, my mom was, like, pretty close with her. They were friends, so, like, my mom could ask her things like that. But that house, first of all, when we moved in, weirdest, like, setting, really. So, like, I remember the upstairs bedrooms were painted all different fluorescent colors.
Okay.
Like, one of the rooms was, like, lime green.
I have one of those here.
Yeah, I know you did. So, like, we had a lime green room. We had a bright pink room. It was just, like, really weird. The bathroom upstairs was, like, wallpapered with, like, gold wallpaper, like, filigree almost. It was fucking weird. Downstairs in the living room was all silver wallpaper. Like, but, like, textured silver wallpaper. And the bathroom was like that, too. Which was really weird. The kitchen was just fucking ugly. But I just remember, like, every room in this house, like, nothing... If I would have walked in there as my parents, I would have been like, I'm not gonna buy this place.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what drew them to that. I don't know, like, what they were looking for. Granted, it was, like, late 90s, so, like...
Yeah.
Who knows? But, you know, as a kid, you're not really thinking about, like, the things going on there. I spent a lot of time in the basement. It was unfinished. We did end up finishing it, except for one part of it, which was like a back room area. So, like, that was used for storage. There was also a crawl space back there. There was also a spot, like, underneath the stairs. So there was, like, a weird, like, triangular door.
Yeah, we had one of those in Tom's River.
Yeah, so, like, you could store things in there. So, the basement was always, like, a little uncomfortable. I didn't have any direct experiences down there. It was just, like, a feeling of uneasiness. Like, when I had sleepovers with friends, we were not staying down there. Nobody felt comfortable with it. Bless you.
Sorry.
Nobody wanted to be down there. Some girl told me one time that she felt like she was being watched. And, like, we had, like, up on the ceiling, you know how you have those
like
little
the
windows? Yeah, so we had that, but, like, there was... I don't know. There was just, like, not a good vibe down there. If you had to turn off the light from the bottom of the stairs, so that was genuinely terrifying, because then you had to run your way back up being chased by the boogeyman.
Or get to the bottom of the stairs before you could see the light.
I know, and it was just...
That's not good.
It's horrifying. Yeah. So, the basement was always, like, a weird point. But the rest of the house, it was... For me, I felt like everything was upstairs. Everything that happened was always upstairs. We had one moment where I remember we had a really bad thunderstorm, and we had, like, one of those, like, bendy lights.
Okay.
But, like, the bigger ones. It came crashing down on the floor downstairs. How?
Yeah.
None of the windows were open. Like, it just fell over in the middle of the night. So that was terrifying. Then another time, like, I was upstairs in my room. I had gone downstairs to, like, probably grab, like, water or something out of the kitchen. My dad was sitting in the living room, which, like, from the living room, you can see the stairs.
Okay.
So he had asked me what I was doing back downstairs because he had just seen me. And I was like, I have been up in my room this entire time. He's like, no, you were down at the bottom of the stairs. And I was like, I was not. I was upstairs. So my dad saw that. And then me and him were the only ones that would hear, like, noises at nighttime.
Okay.
Like, my mom didn't hear it, and, like, if my brother heard it, he refuses to tell me. He won't tell me any experiences that he's had in that house.
Didn't he have, like, a really weird one, though?
I don't know, because every time
like
I
something
ask
with
him,
the doors.
I had a weird one with the door.
Okay, maybe it's yours.
Yeah. I don't know what his are. He knows about mine, but I've always asked him, and he's like, no, you told me yours. And I'm like, I've told you mine. Tell me yours. No, like, I had one, well, as I said, we used to hear the voices downstairs. You'd hear people arguing, or you'd hear music. And that always felt like it wasn't, like, in the regular portion of the house. It was, like, in the basement. So, like, that was weird. But upstairs, so I had a very frightening encounter one night. I was saying goodnight to my parents, walked out into the hallway, which I have to walk down to get to my bedroom. So, like, their room was here, our spare bedroom was down the hall here. You had to make, like, an L, then it was my room and my brother's room. So, like, I came out this door, face to face with the spare bedroom, which we never like closed the door to it, but it wasn't always open either. It was just kind of like ajar. And I saw somebody standing behind it, staring at me. I saw a little boy. I will never forget it. I don't remember if I turned around and went right back into my parents' room or what the fuck I did, but I remember that being very scary. I woke up in the middle of the night one night because I had a Barbie car that used to sit on a shelf in my closet, which was parallel with the wall. There was no way that it could have rolled off onto the floor. That came flying out of my closet. I woke up screaming bloody murder. That was genuinely terrifying. The only thing that I could think of with Zach was that he wouldn't sleep in his bedroom.
Okay.
He refused to sleep in his bedroom. He always slept in my parents' room on the floor, and for a while I ended up doing it too because I was too scared to sleep in my own room. But I remember he probably didn't sleep in his bed until like probably the entirety of the time that we lived there, and even like beyond that.
Wow.
Like there was a very long time where he refused to sleep in his room because he was like fucking scared.
Yeah.
So there was that. One of the times I was sleeping in my mom's room, I woke up to having my hair touched, and that ended up like braided. I was falling asleep one night in her room, and I was staring at her bathroom door, and I thought I saw somebody standing in the doorway. That was like a frequent occurrence though. Sleeping in my own room, it was scary to go out of my room at night to go to the bathroom, which I had to like go around that bend.
Yeah.
And like, I'd always have to close my eyes because I always felt like there was somebody standing right on the corner there. So that was really scary. Trying to think if anything else happened in there. I know my mom said like a lot of times things would go missing. Or she'd be doing laundry and like one minute everything was stacked really neatly and then the next minute she turned around and it would be all on the floor.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's like so like in your face.
Yeah. So she said that happened.
Stuff like that always freaks me out because it's so like you can't mistake nicely stacked folded laundry for like strewn across
like
the floor,
and it's one thing like you know what, sometimes I pile the towels up a little too high and then they fall over,
sure.
but like it wasn't like that.
Right.
It was like everything would be on the floor, and I remember her telling me too, like you put a pencil down and it would just disappear. And I do remember that because like I would have like pens or pencils and things lying about and they would just vanish. No idea what the fuck happened to them. So it's just like weird stuff that went on there. And like I have dreams about that house a lot. Like I have dreams about my house in the Poconos, but I have a lot of dreams about the one in Tom's River too, because I always dream that I have to go to the house and tell people like I used to live here and you need to get out. Yeah. Which is scary. Like like I have to like warn them of like what's in the house. Yeah. So every now and then it's weird because like I mean if I'm over here I'm going to your house. Like I'm not like that's out of my way from where that house is. So but like if we're going to like SolidWorks or something, like I'll purposely pass it because I want to see who else lives there. Yeah. Like just because like you guys still here? Like I know the people that like moved in after us. Like I know that they had like 8,000 fucking cars and like they were there for a really long time. But I'm always curious if they finally moved out or like if they are sticking it out because it was scary. Yeah. It was really unnerving there. But like I know the only thing that I know for a fact. Actually, there's only two things that I know for a fact that happened. One, we were told that there was 2 kids that were molested in the house.
I mean, that's some bad mojo.
Yeah. I don't know if anybody died in the house. And we also had a car accident on our front lawn. But I don't know if anybody died for that either. Yeah. I just remember, like, I was supposed to go to school one morning and I woke up and there was 2 crashed cars on our front lawn. Because we lived across the street from, like, we obviously were on a busy road, but then we have a cross street. So, like, somebody must have pulled out of that cross street and then was, like, T-boned and then ended up on our lawn. Wow. So... But I don't think anybody died. So, I don't know. It was just like weird juju there. Yeah, definitely. And then my apartment, that is just, I feel like a lot of that's my own making.
I agree.
I feel like I've done that to myself. But the only...
Brookie is her own worst nightmare.
I really am. The only time that I've ever encountered something that, like, I probably didn't like was that time I woke up in the middle of the night and, like, I face my window. I don't face my room because I just don't. And my brain was like, do not look into your room. Do not look because you are not going to like what you see. Yeah. So I just, like, went back to bed. And that was that. Occasionally I wake up and I think somebody's standing next to my bed, but I'm pretty sure it's my dad, trying purposely to scare me. Or I wake up and I feel like the shadows on my window have changed. Like, there's trees and there's lights out there, so, like, I kind of can recognize what's normally there and what's not.
Right.
So, like, I know when something looks a little bit darker than it should be.
Yeah.
So that freaks me out a little bit. Or the times that I've woken up because I've heard somebody breathing. But I don't take that shit. So, like, I wake up and I'm like, knock it off. And then it'll happen again, and I'm like, I'm trying to fucking sleep. And then it'll stop, so. But that's kind of, like, that's all I can think of.
Yeah.
I don't think there's, like, one that we had that I'm, like, struggling to remember.
That we collectively had? No, I don't think so. I mean, we recently spoke about that hotel we stayed at near Sleepy Hollow.
Yeah.
But I don't think that we collectively have shared a weird experience. I think you're thinking of the Walmart incident. But we're not getting into that.
No, we should get into that because it's a paranormal experience.
It's a weird experience.
And it's one that has no explanation at all whatsoever. It's just, like, so freaky. I was just recently thinking about that because, like, my brain has a block on it.
I know.
I can't go any further.
We were at Walmart one night. It was relatively late. It was just the two of us.
It wasn't that late. We were getting snacks.
Yeah, no, but it was dark.
Yes, it was dark.
We were both stone cold sober.
For once.
Yeah, and we were in the shoe section. And, like, both of us recall a third person being with us and, like, talking to somebody else. But we don't talk to anybody. It's just the two of us.
And we were by my house where nobody else lives. Like,
yeah, so, like, we weren't hanging out with somebody
we couldn't
else.
have run into anybody that we both knew. There was just, like, somebody was there and then they weren't.
And we've talked about this many times, and it leaves both of us with just this, like heavy, unsettled feeling.
Because it's like there's a mental block there. It's like I can't think of it any further because my brain stops me. Like,
yeah.
Like,
quite frankly, it's a couple moments of lost time. Like,
yeah,
it's just
like it's trying to figure out, like, we both know that there was somebody else there was somebody that we spoke to.
Yeah. Because
I remember we were in the shoe aisle, and I remember there was somebody there that we were talking to, but I don't know who the fuck that person was. If you know us and you remember this experience, please come forward with information. Please solve this mystery that's been plaguing us for 4 years now. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know who or what it was, but dipped into a parallel universe. Just toe touched real quick.
But I think that's it. I can't think of anything else.
No, I can't think of anything else either. As far as I know.
Yeah.
Well, those are our spooky experiences, and somewhere in here we'll attempt to insert audio of the creepy laugh. That's it.
Yeah.
Because I don't have any, like, creepy pictures either.
Mm-hmm.
You have to show me that one picture you were talking about.
I have to get my friend to send it to me, but I will.
Okay.
Alright, so yeah, that's it. You guys enjoy your Halloween. Stay safe and stay spooky.
And we'll see you in 2 weeks. Hello, friends.
Hi.
So we're going on a ghost hunt.
With our friend Frank.
And that's really it.
Yeah.
If we find anything, we'll put it here. If not, got nothing else.
We walked around a graveyard at night.
Which was scary in general. So, bye.
Is anybody here with us? Did you just hear that? Yes.
I would say that that's a yes. Wow.
That was really loud.
That was a